Hi everyone, I am Rishabh here, and today I'm going to be doing a science demonstration on the topic water percolation and absorption in different types of soils. Since I didn't have any funnels, I decided to reuse some old water bottles by cutting them up in half. I also decided to use these cloths as a kind of filter being held by these rubber bands. You can also do this too. But before we start the experiment, I need to go and collect some soil samples. Follow me. Here's my first sample. As you can see, this is gravel-like sandy soil. This soil has a very high porosity, which means that in between these particles, there are a lot of very big gaps. And well, as you can see, look at that. See? It has lots of tiny gaps and lots of rocks. Let's go and put this in. So here's my first sample, and I'm going to put it into my first funnel. There we go. Now let's go collect our second sample. So now for our second sample, I'm going to take some garden soil. There we go. Now let's take this. So this is my garden soil. It has a ton of organic material or humus. As you can see, it has a very low porosity because the particles are extremely small. So I'm just going to pour this into my second funnel. Oh, very messy. So now with our two samples ready, we can start our experiments. So let's start our first experiment. As you can see, I have the two samples, and this experiment is about water absorption in different types of soils. And this is not orange juice. This is actually water mixed in with turmeric so that you can clearly see the water levels. So now I'm going to pour this in slowly. Oh, a bit of it is spilling away. Sorry. And there we go. Next one. Carefully. There we go. So we have equal amounts of water on both samples. Let's wait for a minute and we'll be right back. So it took a few more minutes than I expected, but now all the water has passed through the soil. Let's pour it out and compare. Okay, here we go. There we go. Now let's compare. Looks like more water passed through the sandy soil than the garden soil. Um, as you can see, there is a lot more water. There is a lot of water still inside the garden soil, while most of the water that we poured into the sandy soil has passed through. This shows that the garden soil holds more water than the sandy soil. So let's start with our second experiment, the rate of percolation in different types of soil. So now that both the soils have a lot of water in them, now we can see how much water can actually pass through without being absorbed. So let's see. There we go. Next one. Hmm. Now let's wait for a minute and see how much goes through the soil. Guys, as you can see, a lot of the water is passing through the sandy soil, while very little is actually going through the garden soil. This shows that the sandy soil has a higher percolation rate than the garden soil. So 1 minute has passed. As you can see, out of 100 ml, a lot of the water passed through the sandy soil in 1 minute. Let's just pour it out. There we go. And now let's see. Wow, through the garden soil, very little has come out. Oh, look, that little. So, out of 100 ml, only this much actually passed through each soil. A lot more water passed through the sandy soil than with the garden soil. This shows that the sandy soil has a higher percolation rate than the garden soil. So now let's go to the calculations. So first we'll measure how much water percolated through the soils, and then we'll apply the formula to find the rate of percolation. Now that we're done with the experiment, let's look at the calculations. The formula. The formula to calculate the percolation rate is equal to the amount of water divided by the percolation time. The percolation time that we're considering here is 1 minute. For sandy soil, the soil percolated 60 milliliters in 1 minute. So simply, the rate of percolation in sandy soil is 60. For the garden soil, it was 15 milliliters per minute. So the rate of percolation in garden soil is simply 15. Conclusion. The rate of percolation in sandy soil is greater than in garden soil. Now that we've seen the results of the experiment, we can now conclude the video. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you. Bye.